everyone. GM people, it is currently 12 minutes past 5 p.m. UK time, Sunday, the 8th of February 2026. Welcome to another amazing episode of Mycelink Sundays. Forgive me if I'm incorrect, but I believe today is our 18th or 19th stream. This is a free weekly webinar where we cover everything from geopolitics, macro, meme coins, crypto futures, and my lovely wife who's in the background. Gonna say hello? Hello. Hi. My lovely wife Halima does an interlude before crypto futures, doing a health and wealth meditation. Mycelink, burst in Q4 2025, is a decentralized ecosystem of like-minded homies who are interested in future technologies, crypto, blockchain technology, etc. As of time of recording, 8th of February 2026, we are a non-legal entity or registered business, though that may change in future. We do this free weekly webinar on Sundays for a multitude of reasons, including but not limited to holding ourselves accountable and for the love of the game of sharing free information and building a community. I always tell people that my greatest asset or greatest assets are my wife, my network, my ecosystem, because I know that if I lost everything, I'd be able to get it back because of my knowledge and connections. Just to iterate, nothing in this video is financial advice. We do not intend to be perceived or received as financial advisors. If you are looking for financial and or legal advice with those who are accredited in the Mycelink ecosystem, we have many great connections within that industry. So if you need any professional services, legal services, etc., hit us up on the Mycelink social media and we will refer you to an accredited advisor. How we structure this is typically my co-host Krog starts off with geopolitics and news. I cover macro and meme coins. Then Halima does the health and wealth meditation, and then Chrysler does crypto futures, and then we do Q&A. So without further ado, I will give it over to Krog.
Hello, people. I hope you can hear me okay. It is currently quarter past midnight in Hanoi, Vietnam. And yeah, today we have the news. A lot going on in the world right now, but it's not an overly extensive one today. So, to begin with, we have Iran and America, tension. Trump has now signed a new executive order to impose a 25% tariff on any country doing business with Iran. And so there's all this talk, and obviously there is weapons being used as well, but really what we're seeing in all of these conflicts is an economic war. And that's where the real power, and it's how people are able to hit them where it hurts. Then yeah, yesterday we had 1.2 trillion flow into the stock market. So, yeah, I mean, we're seeing crashes, but we're also seeing people buying up and making the most of the opportunities. So, yeah, it's not all money flowing out. There's money going in as well, big time. And on that note, gold and silver are recovering well. Gold's up 6% from the recent low and silver 20%. So, bouncing back very healthily. Um, Canada, Canada's economy lost 25,000 jobs in January. So what that factor is, I don't think this is the first of mass redundancies we're going to see. But yeah, people are losing their jobs right now. So you want to make sure that you can't be replaced by a robot. Okay. Um, Bitcoin has already recovered quickly. And it's gone up in price, $10,000 from the low in less than 24 hours. So, yeah, we're seeing crash, but it's bouncing back okay. Personally, yeah, the Bitcoin crash. I mean, we've seen if you've been in it long enough, you've seen pullbacks like these before. It's really not the end of the world, even if it can feel like it. Boom. Right. We're seeing suggestions that Epstein is the founder of Bitcoin, right? I'm going to clear this up now. Every cycle, we see claims of like, oh, this person created Bitcoin. Oh, this person created Bitcoin. All right. It doesn't matter. It actually doesn't matter if Epstein created Bitcoin. And yeah, I don't think he did. Even if he did, it doesn't matter. We see these bold claims I remember when I first got into crypto, everyone was saying it was Elon Musk. No one knows, doesn't matter. Whoever created it, the technology works decentralized regardless. So I'm not letting whoever owns it to FUD what the price is. Okay, on the topic of a man like Elon Musk, Elon Musk has now for his like XAI. He's now hiring crypto experts to teach AI models how to trade. Okay, now I've seen a lot of people close to me and not so close to me trying to use bots to cheat the market. You cannot cheat the market. Okay, people are getting humans to teach the AIs. Okay, we trade better than AI. There is no way the AI is going to trade better than you putting in the work yourself. So there's no shortcuts. Elon Musk even knows that. Okay, we've had India committed to buying 500 billion Bitcoin. So look, 500 billion worth of US energy, technology, agricultural, coal, and many other products, right? So we're seeing again these economic wars where Trump's like, hey, you need to stop, buying Russian oil or you're going to receive this tax, and everyone is just bowing down. So, yeah, economic war is real. It's happening. Right. On that note, India have dropped the US tariff to zero and is to phase out Russian oil as the US trims its tariffs on India to 18%. So it's mad, like countries are really having to, Trump's still got tariffs on, countries having to take their tariffs off. Yeah, big, yeah, this whole tariff thing is very complex, but yeah, it's just a lot of weight getting thrown about. Right. Lastly, yeah, we've got Keir Starmer supports strikes on Iran. All right, this guy keeps making enemies, keeps just doing what he's meant to do. Do not rate, bro. Do not rate, bro. One of the most puppet politicians where he's just licking everyone's ass. Fuck that guy. Yeah. Boom. Last but not least, the son of Gaddafi has been assassinated. So, it's not, we've seen a lot of political figures get assassinated in the last 12 months, and even more attempted than that. And so, yeah, you never know what can happen. I think we've said it before here on Mycelink, but yeah, if we see anything like that happen to Trump, sell your bag. Right then, that's all from me. I don't know if anyone else has anything else to add, but that's what I got.
Thank you very much, Krog, for the geopolitics lowdown, as per. Um, Before we get into my finance and macro, um, what is your current, I guess you could say, reading on geopolitics and risk in terms of at this moment in time, with the current data that you have researched, do you think that there is anything probable that is round the corner that will affect the whole world? Or do you think right now the worst things have happened? Because I think we're, you know, going into my section a little bit, I think we have hit the bottom. I don't think we're going to go lower. Every I have so much on-chain metrics and technical metrics to show that this is the bottom. And typically, when all this news happens, it signals a bottom. So, is there anything quantitatively or qualitatively in your geopolitical risk analysis that says things could get worse? Because I'm on the worst has happened.
Yeah, and yeah. Um, I think I wouldn't be surprised if we could see more blood, but ultimately I do agree with you. I think we have seen the worst, and this is the kind of volatility that we love in the markets in the first place. When it comes to geopolitics, I don't think particularly so far geopolitics are like yeah. I think chaos geopolitically isn't a bad thing for crypto. And yeah, these conflicts, etc., they do print a lot of money for the right people. And with all this political stuff, you know, personally, I think these big governments, etc., and institutions have been the main ones be using Bitcoin for the past, 10 plus years. And so I think when all these deals are getting cooked up, etc., I think there's a lot of transactions happening decentralized on the blockchain. And I also think with the chaos um, and the instability of currencies, especially Bitcoin alongside other cryptos are becoming a safe haven. And it's like, yeah, people don't want to trust the banks or they don't want to trust holding certain currencies. So they're going to look for right now, which is right now, Bitcoin is the most universally sort of like agreed upon store of value in a sense, other than maybe gold. But everyone in the world can access it. It's easier to access than maybe an online bank account or something, especially in certain parts of the world. And so I think geopolitically, yes, black swan events can happen, but I think the lack of stability we're seeing right now is part of what's going to rally crypto as people, you know, start losing trust in centralized authorities. That is my take. In terms of what I think could be like the biggest geopolitical threats, I still think quite strongly, I've been saying this for a while. I think blackouts are one of the biggest sort of threats in terms of something that's quite easy to do that causes a lot of chaos. Um, However, obviously, yeah, accessing your crypto during a blackout could be awkward, but I still think your crypto is more secure in a blackout than your online banking is or your PayPal, etc. So yeah, that's my take. Even blackouts could rally crypto because everyone needs something that they trust is secure. So yeah, that's my overall take on geopolitics and yeah, affecting crashing the markets, geopolitics and crashing the markets. That is my take. And I don't follow
Appreciate
narrative,
the
I
takes.
follow the data, man. So data should be okay. Day is looking good, narrative not so much. But I think that's the beauty of it, right? When everyone is scared, it's usually quite an exciting time to look for opportunity.
100%.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Yeah,
Um,
man. Excited to hear what you got
okay.
to say, bro. Some turbulent times in the markets, but it's quite interesting piecing it all together, or trying to at least.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, oh, we got Sammy entering the room. What up, Sammy?
Hello.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Good day. Good day.
Oh, this is Donny Storm.
Yo,
Man like Donny Storm, you know. Yeah,
same.
you've just missed Crowd geopolitics section.
Crash
But
it.
yeah, feel free to catch up on YouTube. Okay,
Man really
so
baited the gov and the
um,
artist name.
Fuck's sake. All right.
KYC, non KYC, non KYC. All right, so I'm just gonna give you guys the facts, right? So let's have a look at the crypto fear and greed index. So the coin market crypto fear and greed index is the lowest it's ever been in human history ever. for those that aren't aware, for the newbies, coinmarketcap.com is the #1 website on planet Earth for cryptocurrency information and data by metric of website visitors per day, week, and month. Right? So coinmarketcap.com is like the yahoo.finance of crypto. We are at the biggest fear ever. Now, of course, this fear and greed index only spans to July 2023, which is why I bring up an older fear and greed index, which is the alternative.me fear and greed index. Let's have a look at this. The last time we were at the reading of 7, right? I think we hit 5 the other day on CoinMarketCap. I swear my eyes saw 5 the other day. Let me just make sure I'm not lying to you guys and go to the 30-day. Yeah, I'm not lying. We did see 5. I saw this at midnight on Friday night. Okay, so let's go back in history because I want to iterate something. In times where there is an overwhelming amount of news, narratives, and qualitative information, opinions, and I don't know if you can call it data, but statements, it is important to look at qualitative, mathematical, numerical data and incorporate that in your analysis. So the last time, so on CoinMarketCap, fear and greed index, this is the lowest we've ever been, ever. And if we go to an older fear and greed index, the last time we were this low was in the bear market capitulation FTX crash of summer 2022. This is when Bitcoin was sub 20K. And the time before that was the COVID crash. When it comes to being this low, like we've been low, but we've not been this low since 2022 mid bear market when BTC was like 16 to 20K. And over here, when Bitcoin was, I think it crashed to $4,000, if I'm not mistaken, around this time. So, as Warren Buffett said, be greedy when others are fearful, and be fearful when others are greedy. I think that the bottom is in by multiple metrics, and I will try to offer you something which most content creators and crypto educators will not offer you via on-chain metrics. We will look at technicals, but I think on-chain is more exclusive. So, yeah, that's alternative.me crypto / fear and greed index. Let's go to some on-chain metrics. I'll go over this summary by 42 Macro on the qualitative analysis on the macro. However, I think it's good in times like this to just read some charts. So all these charts, or almost all of them, are provided by charts.checkonchain.com, and the other ones are provided by cryptoquant.com. So we'll look at the charts.checkonchain ones and then look at the cryptoquant ones. Those are my two defaults for on-chain data. Let me just leave Mr. Scott Besant there. So before I get into them, I would like to just remind you guys how you can get on them. You go to charts.checkonchain.com. You can have it on light mode, but I like it on dark mode. Basically just means the background is black versus white. And the first indicator we'll look at is this one called the short-term holder MVRV. I can't lie, I forgot what MVRV stands for, but short-term holder, just know that short-term holder always means, in the context of charts.checkonchain.com, those holding Bitcoin for 155 days or less. So I use on-chain metrics in conjunction with technical analysis, where most people only look at technicals. So as we can see on this reading here, the last time we were this low at 0.7 was in the summer 2022 bear market. This was a long time ago. This aligns with the previous fear and greed index, which I just showed you guys. The only difference is that that previous fear and greed index had fear over here during the tariff crash, I believe. This one is basically saying the last opportunity we had like this was in the 2022 bear market. And the time before that was pretty much in the middle of 2021 bull market, and over here in the COVID crash. So these are very, very rare buy opportunities. Next metric, this is called the short-term holder supply and profit and loss ratio. All these short-term holder metrics have slight nuances in between them. I forget exactly what they are. Feel free to grok them, but you'll see a lot of them are saying the same/similar things. I like to call this the Rastafari indicator because it's red, gold, and green. And when we hit this level here, it means that 95% of Bitcoin holders, so those who bought Bitcoin in the past 155 days or less, are in loss. When you go below it, it pretty much means that everyone's in loss. The last time we were this low, according to this metric, was never. We've never been this low. Never in the history of Bitcoin ever since 2016. Of course, this metric only goes down to minus 10 years ago, but I think that's enough data set. So if this is not a buying opportunity, I don't know what it is. Next, we've got the shorts, another similar metric, which uses Bollinger Bands. All of these are just mathematical calculations and averages. The last time we were this low was in January 2019. This is when Bitcoin was, I think the price was around $3,000 to $5,000. I remember in January 2018, Bitcoin was around 20K. So it crashed by like 85% in this time. And that's when we got this reading. We've never had a reading like this since 2019. Wait, what is going on? Okay, cool. All right, so there's 3 on-chain metrics. You can find those on the Mycelink Twitter. I link you guys to the short-term holder MVRV, the short-term holder profit and loss, and the short-term holder MVRV Bollinger Bands. It's not too important that you know the exact nuances of these indicators. It's more to do with the fact that these indicators are in conjunction with other indicators such as fear and greed, and later on I'll go into technical analysis on TradingView. I have 3 metrics here on Crypto Quant, which I will load up right now. Okay, so the 3 metrics that I would like to have a look at. The first one is called the Bitcoin Sharpe ratio. Let me just get that up. Okay, let's load this one up. I'm pretty much going to show you guys across the board that the bottom is in. Qualitatively speaking, according to multiple metrics. So, the last time we hit this blue zone here, think of this as like a super RSI, right? The last time we reached here was in the 2022 bear market in the depths of hell. This is when Bitcoin was ranging sub 20K. That is the last time we had this reading. The time before that was at the capitulation of the 2019 bear market when Bitcoin crashed from 20K all the way down to around 3K. This is when Bitcoin crashed from 68K down to 16K, 20 to 16K levels. Now, Bitcoin has gone from 125K down to, we recently touched, 65K? And the time before that was 2015. Very rare opportunities, guys. Very, 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 very rare. Next. I want you guys to ask yourselves, yes, I think the bottom is in. I can be wrong, just like I've been wrong before. I did not think Bitcoin was going to go below 80K. right? I will admit when I'm wrong because I don't just want to be one of those people who just brag about or cherry pick when I'm right all the time, because I do get it wrong, and you will forever always get it wrong in this market. Warren Buffett gets things wrong. I honestly thought, right, just to be absolutely accountable, I honestly thought that this was the bottom in October, on the 21st of November 2021. Sorry, 2021. 2025, right? And we were setting higher highs and higher lows. This is a technical uptrend. Technically speaking, this is an uptrend. Of course, you cannot rely on one form of analysis. You cannot rely on one indicator. You cannot rely on one person, on one news source. I've said this before and I'll say it again. I encourage everyone at Mycelink to be an independent thinker with independent belief systems. You should never invest or trade based on my opinion or one person's opinion analysis alone, right? I did not predict this break. This got me. I can't lie. But the difference up, and despite me not predicting that this was going to be the case, I was prepared because I do not base 100% of my investing analysis based on my discretionary opinions. Even here, when I thought that the market was going up, I still held a lot of stablecoin. Where a lot of people over here were like ultra max long on alts, memes, and leverage long, right? At least I have a good amount of USDC and USDT to grab the Bitcoin dip, etc. So always be positioned. I digress. Let's go back to on-chain metrics. So just to confirm, we've gone through the coin market cap fear and greed index, the lowest it's ever been, released in July 2023. We went through another fear and greed index. I've closed the link, but one that spans back to 2015. Only a few other readings have we had this amount of fear. We've looked at the short-term holder MVRV. We've looked at the short-term holder supply profit and loss ratio. We've looked at the short-term holder MVRV Bollinger Bands on charts.checkonchain.com. All three of these on-chain metrics scream what? A bottom. We've just looked at the Bitcoin Sharp ratio on CryptoQuant.com. What does that scream? A bottom. Sounds kind of gay. Next, we're going to have a look at 3 or 4 more metrics, on-chain metrics, and then I'll have a look at qualitative data set. iPhone messaged hi. Yeah, what's up? Okay. Sorry, bro, just listening. Yeah, that's okay. No problem, no problem. Welcome. So I don't know where my thing is in here. Let me just go here. I'm still navigating CryptoQuant. I do recommend you guys sign up. It's free. And then I created a Mycelink dashboard. So you guys can click on the links here, but it will only link you to the on-chain metric if you sign up for crypto.com versus charts.checkonchain.com. You do not need an account to be able to view this data. Okay, so sure. Okay. Alrighty. Where else are we? Next, I want to have a look at the Bitcoin futures long-short liquidation dominance. Let's have a look at this. So let me break down what this means. What it means to be liquidated means basically for your trade to go to zero. Most people watching here, I believe, invest in spot, so you just buying and holding assets. That's just me assuming, because that's the community that I've built. But leverage is basically where you... Do you think there will be more shorts on XRP and Sol? I will answer all questions at the at the end, as I don't want to disturb my flow right now. If you do stay to the end, I will not answer any questions. So, right now, we are at the record of long liquidations, right? So, the last time this amount of long liquidations have been liquidated is over here in 2019. At a certain point, liquidations need to get tired, which is one of the reasons why we've had this, and it's a bit too early to say because it's not like we've set. This is not a confirmed uptrend, right? It's only a confirmed uptrend once we get at least 2 higher highs and 2 higher lows. Right now, all we formed is 1 higher high and 1 higher low. So I'd wait for at least 1 more confirmation before saying the bottom is really in. Of course, this is subject to false signals. As we can see over here, we've had, we had higher highs and higher lows here, but that didn't play out how we expected. But yeah, this on-chain metric saying that the most amount of long liquidations since 2019 have been liquidated is in support of that. Next, let's have a look at the futures open interest. So this is the subtotal amount of leverage positions in the market. Futures open interest, 1 second. Okay, here we are. Okay, so we can see here. So understand that prices go up, and prices go up because there's more buyers than sellers. Prices go down because there's more sellers than buyers, and leverage positions exacerbate that direction in either way. So when there is low open interest in the market, it means that the market is not confident. The market participants at whole are not confident in the direction of the market. Right now, this is signaled a bottom. This isn't signaling that it's going to go up, but it's saying that if there is spot buying in BTC and the market as a whole decides to buy Bitcoin, yeah, and it starts to trend up, what this indicator is saying is that it's saying that we're at the bottom of leverage positions participants, and if it goes up, it will exacerbate the upside. Much like over here on the 11th of October 2025. Let me just remind you guys what happened on the 10th of October 2025. By the way, if you want to be a high-level investor, it's really important that you remember dates in your mind, in my opinion. Like I've been in crypto every single day for half a decade. I can tell you the approximate week, month, and year of every major catalyst event in the past 5 years. I know them, right? I said the 10th, maybe it was the 8th or whatever. This was the biggest liquidation event of all time in crypto history, right? In that time, we had a open interest wipeout, and we had a spot sell-off in the market, which was exacerbated with the rise of leverage here. What I expect to happen is because I have a bullish bias and a bottom is in bias, which I can still be incorrect, I'm assuming that the recovery based on open interest will be exacerbated to the direction in which I predict it will go to, which is the upside. We'll skip this. Okay, let's go over some qualitative data. So I basically showed you guys nearly 10 data sets to tell you that the bottom is in. So this was the executive summary from 42 Macro by Darius Dale, which is an institutional grade macro crypto stocks, like finance information company that posts a report every day. I won't read out this executive summary because I put in Grok. Oh, not this one. Where's my convo? Oh, let me just show you guys this real quick before I go into 42 macro. It's basically the last times the fear and greed was this low. Yeah, just to summarize, the last time was this low was during the tariffs of Q1 2025. And basically January 2023, when fear and greed was this low. I had a summary of 42 macro and I don't know where it has gone. That's okay. That's okay. Oh, yeah, here we are. So, screenshot this, summarize in plain English for the weekly summary for Sunday, Mycelink. So basically, the US Treasury, is it a friend or foe to the market? So friend would be easy monetary policy, low interest rates, etc. And a foe would be a US Treasury that is tightening the Fed and very hawkish, so increasing interest rates. So the big picture, the key question is the US Treasury, so basically the government's money manager, issues bonds and bills to fund spending. Too much supply can't flood the market and push bond prices down, which raises interest rates. And the report asks if the latest moves support, which i.e. are dovish, easy market conditions, or restrictive. So the short answer is that the new Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, who is this guy over here, as a complete side note, not that I want to go into this too much or make too much commentary, I'm just going to make a fact. This guy is actually, where was it? The first openly gay person to lead the US Department. I'm not going to go into Epstein files and stuff and conspiracy, but I think that is very, very interesting. But when I hit talk about geopolitics, I'm going to go over just the finances. Okay, so the short answer is that they're sticking to a bull market friendly plan. And this matters because, as time and time shows, that this is in support of a paradigm bull market, a long-term uptrend in the market, similar to before the 2008 crash, where we had a bull market from like 2002 to 2008, and before the dot-com crash of the early 2000s, where we had like a 5-6 year bull market. Too early to say, but this is what we gather from this executive summary. In the latest quarterly update, called the quarterly refunding announcement, they plan to keep auction sizes for coupons, long-term bonds, at floating rate notes steady for the next few quarters. No big increases. There is a risk post-April because of the appointed new head of the Fed. Remember, he is appointed and things can change. So we will watch out for that. I am bullish on Q1. I know that's a very contrarian thing to say, but I wouldn't be surprised if Bitcoin flies back to all-time high by quarter close. I'm not saying that's my prediction, but I'm be surprised. I summarize this in tweets. We'll skip over that. Very quickly, finance.pgsolutions.net. I go to this website every webinar just to check the liquidity in the Fed. Okay, so I do believe that the recent draining liquidity is the bottom. I do believe that more liquidity is going to be pumped into the Fed, and the TGA is going to come down. Right now, they've got $1 trillion on the sidelines in the savings account. What else have we got here? Some more data from 42 macro. Key lead. Let me just have a look. What was I looking at? Mm, I can't remember. You want to skip over that? So notice here on this model by 42 macro, the relationship between global liquidity and Bitcoin. Look at oh, 1 second. Look at the space between global liquidity and BTC. The last time we had this amount of space between BTC and global liquidity was, I can't remember which, I haven't actually screenshotted the year, but it was a long time ago. And at some point, this gap needs to close in. There is many metrics outside of my comprehension and my ability to even describe them because it's so high level. People are a lot smarter than myself. So I'm just trying to remove all of this. They show that versus multiple metrics, including global liquidity and how everything else is valued in the world, Bitcoin makes the most sense in terms of a buy right now. Like, let's have a look at the Bitcoin gold ratio, right? It's currently 14 ounces of gold per BTC. The last time we had a ratio of 14 ounces per BTC was in October 2023. What was the price of Bitcoin in October 2023? I think it was $30,000. Let me just refresh my memory. October 2023? Yeah. Oh my God. See? $30,000. Okay. I do not think. Let's go to gold for a second. Go. Right. So let's just do gold versus BTC, right? I forget which country announced it, but there was some country that said that they were selling $350 million worth of their gold reserves for BTC. BTC back to all-time high at today's price, even after this bounce, is 74% from the high. 74% from the high, which it was in October, right? If you look at gold, in order for gold to do 74%, it's going to travel all the way to $8,000. 8,400. Let alone me with my £20 a month TradingView subscription and less than 1,000, like £500 laptop, cheap ass laptop. If I can do this maths, what do you think the people at Goldman Sachs are doing? What do you think the people at BlackRock are doing? You think they've not calculated this with all their machines? I'm just one person on a computer with a bit of experience, with a bit of retail experience and a little bit more knowledge than the average person in financial markets. But I believe crypto is at a super generational low right now. I think that's everything over here. I did a comparison. The iShares expanded tech software ETF with BTC, eerily correlated in terms of price action. Very eerily correlated. Over here we have. Oh, this is basically the same chart, but with a extended date set back to 2022, which further confirms everything. Yeah, so that's everything from the tweet string. Next, in the macro, let me tell you something I'm super excited about. I'm super excited about the fact that the Industrial Supply, the Institute for Supply Management, aka the PMI, the Purchasing Managers Index, basically a representative or a good representative of Main Street. Remember, there's Wall Street, which is financial markets, stocks and crypto, and all the trading. And then there's the real world economy, which sadly produces way less money than financial markets on the screen. That's why we play this game, right? Because there's more money on the screen than in the real world. This has done its biggest print. This has done its biggest print since the COVID recovery. We have not had an ISM print this big. I guess you could argue. I guess you could argue this was a print, but we're at a very, very important level here, which is post 50. And let me just show you what I just ran through AI. Okay, so explain what the ISM is for beginners and how it relates to BTC. The ISM, or Institute for Supply Management, is an economic indicator that measures the health of the US manufacturing sector. Think of it as a quick temperature check on how factories and suppliers are doing. It's based on surveys of 400 purchasing managers from various industries across the country. So managers answer questions about things like orders from customers, production levels, hiring, employment, how quickly suppliers deliver goods. The PMI ranges from 0 to 100. 0, which obviously it's never going that low, to 100, which is up here, right? So what are the important levels in between? When the line fluctuates, when the line peaks over 60, it signals strong growth. So think of it as like in technical analysis, if you guys know what the RSI is, the relative strength index, we like to have a look at the RSI when it's trending upwards to show bullish momentum, right? When it dips below 40, it typically means we're in a recession. The horizontal line at 50 separates expansion from contraction. Expansion from contraction. Literally, in December 2025, we were here at 47. Obviously, this only updates every single month. We've gone from a 47.87 reading on the ISM to 52.82. I think, just like, let me just clear everything. Just like in previous times, let's look at here. 2017, January, all the way to January 2018. Like here. You see, in this time here, Bitcoin went from like 3,000 to 20,000. In this time. In this time here, right? When we touch that 55 zone, right? From this time here to like this time here, Bitcoin went from 3,000 to 68,000. Okay. I don't want to go to 2013, 2014. This, and obviously you shouldn't overtly do technical analysis on non-price action on readings like this. But this is an uptrending chart, in my opinion. And this, just like leverage does in the crypto market, exacerbates the direction, in this case, a bullish direction of risk on sentiment. That's what my reading is on the ISM. We'll ignore this. Let's have a look at some charts. Okay, oh my God, the Russell 2000, which is the 2,000 smallest cap stocks in America. So think of it as like the meme coin stocks in America. Pretty much all-time highs. This looks like a good recovery to me. Historically speaking, this has to break all-time highs before euphoria begins in the crypto market. Copper is at all-time highs as well, which shows global production is continuing to rise. Copper gold ratio at all-time lows. We really know risk on sentiment is turning around when copper starts outperforming gold. We're still waiting for that. Gold is, I know people are talking about this recovery, but unless I see a higher high, I don't predict gold is going further. My current reading is gold going down. That's what I see. I could be wrong, but that's just what I see, right? And just understand that information is invalidated upon new information coming. I'm just going off time of recording, 8th of February 2026. What else? I think This is going to be a generational oil trade. I've said this before. I think oil has broken its downtrend and is beginning to form an uptrend. I wouldn't be surprised if we got a chart pattern like this on oil in the next 18, 12, 24 months, something like that. Not exactly like this, but I've read so many charts that this is what my crystal ball is telling me. Platinum is definitely plateauing. This is a downtrend. I don't see platinum recovering anytime soon. This is an indication of rotation of capital. Silver, this is not an uptrend, and I think silver is destined for $54 to give like a prediction on price. I think I'll retest 54. Have a look at the stock market real soon. I used to be a big buy the dip guy. I am now more of a buy the dip upon confirmation of a reversal of a downtrend. So I think Netflix is a good buy right now. However, I don't like touching charts like this. Let's have a look at the big players. Apple recovered very well from the dip. Tesla, I think this is entering a downtrend. From what I can see, we've got lower highs. Nvidia, I believe I think we'll test 154. I don't think it's a good time to buy Nvidia. S&P 500, fantastic, pretty much at all-time highs. I know there's a lot of fear right now, but I would have to see a confirmation of the S&P 500 into a downtrend before having any bearish bias. I also hold an opinion that there is a possibility, since Bitcoin is so decoupled from global liquidity right now, that we may see a new paradigm, because all these new paradigms where the S&P 500 declines whilst crypto goes up, we have not seen that paradigm yet, but I foresee it happening this year as we've had so much decoupling. The NASDAQ, gonna be honest, this looks like a bearish chart structure. If you also notice, I used to do a lot of indicator work. Now I like to prefer to look at naked charts and then use indicators as a second confirmation bias. I do think we're headed down for the NASDAQ from what I can see. Could be wrong, but we don't seem to be breaking this October high, much like Bitcoin. I think we're going to enter a new paradigm where the NASDAQ takes a pullback with the S&P 500, and then this capital rotation goes into crypto. This is a very qualitative theory, which I don't want you to bet leverage on. Let me just check the comments. He said something. Can you chart Sophie? Yes, I will take all requests at the end. But feel free to put all the questions in. Hopefully, you guys can stay till the end of the webinar. On a positive note for risk on assets, the dollar has been declining steadily for the whole of 2025. There is no sign of any immediate reversal for this, and I do believe that we are headed lower. Just to remind you guys, from this point here in February 2020, this was a COVID crash, all the way to here, which is the middle of the 2021 bull market. Bitcoin in this decline, went from $4,000 up to $60,000 plus. So I see a similar thing playing out here. Coinbase, I think the bottom's in for Coinbase. I think it's a great time to buy Coinbase. Let me just go stick on a quick RSI to just double confirm that. Admittedly, it did break my trend line. I didn't expect it to go this low, but hey ho, you get things wrong and you have to prepare for the worst, right? Relative strength. Yes. Just as a little confirmation bias, the last time Coinbase stock was this low was literally in 2022. You can see how this stock has a strong relationship, not perfect because there is no such thing as perfectly correlated assets. However, if you do a little back test on Coinbase stock and Bitcoin, you can see there are similar times where it drops and rises So I actually see Coinbase. Here's a contrarian opinion, right? I think Coinbase is actually a Bitcoin beta. The biggest exchange in the entire world is actually a beta of Bitcoin itself. And if you want a super beta, you go to MicroStrategy. If you believe in the recovery of Bitcoin and you believe in Michael Saylor, who I can't remember exactly how much Bitcoin he holds. I think like 3% of the entire supply. If you just compare these rises, MicroStrategy is 3.5x from all-time high versus Bitcoin 70%. I think the Pengu bottom in. I want to remind you guys that this is how quick things can change, right? On the 27th of June, Pengu was here at 8.7 cents, the 24th of June. And literally 1 month later, on the 24th of July, 30 days later, it did 5x. I know it's hard to imagine Pengu doing this. I know it's really hard, right? Especially when you're down here. And I'm going to be so real. I started DCAing in Pengu since like here. Like, my Pengu position is so down, it is disgusting. Across so many wallets. I'm down. I'm down bad. But I continue to bring my average price down because I believe in the asset. I think Pengu is the greatest meme coin of all time. In terms of intellectual property play. ETH is at a fantastic discount where you are not financial advice, guaranteed to basically do a 2x on Ethereum. I have zero reason to believe Ethereum is not going to recover. It's too institutionally deep and within the fabric of crypto, with like 70% of stablecoin transaction and volume being on here. I also think Solana is at a generational low right now, just on a spot hold, or even dare I say it, on a long 3x long, because Solana would need to go down to 59 to get liquidated on a 3x long, which I think is very unlikely. I think it's very unlikely indeed. If we just look at some basic technicals on RSI, on the 3-day, this is the lowest Solana has been since here. So what do I think is going to happen to Solana? I think it's going to do something like this. I've heard theories that Solana could go to $1,000. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't want to overly comment on that. If you want to look at ultra undervalued, I think Ton is ultra undervalued. The Telegram Open Network. However, my technicals are telling me that we can retest lower, and because remember, the risk sentiment has to change across the board. Finally, let's just have a look at some quick meme coins. I'm going to show you on my watch list. Please understand that meme coins are the riskiest asset of all time, even more risky than your altcoins, and they are at the bottom end tail of risk on sentiment. So all of crypto needs to basically turn around for these meme coins to typically catch a bid. Uranus looks absolutely disgusting right now. However, I do believe that because these guys are followed by Solana and they're basically at every single IRL Solana event across the world, I backtested their Twitter as well. I think the market is just not catching a bid on this. So these are times where I'm not saying like you should buy Uranus now, but you want to just have things like this on your watch list where if you believe on their recovery, they are insanely high from their all-time high, 50x from the high. Now, I don't know if it's going to go back there, when it's going to go back there, if it's going to go down further. I'm just presenting to you guys information. Now, I prefer charts like Neat. So this is a meme coin that is kind of on the thing of not in education and employment. It's followed by Alon, the founder of Pump Fund, which is the biggest Solana meme coin launch platform. I prefer charts like this than on this, simply because I can have more confidence in the support line. I don't know when this is going to turn around. I'm not buying more Uranus, but I have bought more Neat. As we've tested the support line multiple times. Again, Troll is fundamentally something that I like, but it's not showed me any reversal. Some people like to bet on the way down. I used to be that person. Now I like to more follow trends. The white whale meta somehow super revived itself against the market crash. This is how you know there's opportunities everywhere in the market. I'm not in this. I thought it would capitulate at this level, and it's since done 5-6x from late January. So there's always opportunities in the market. One of my super degenerate bets right now is something called the black whale. This is extremely, extremely, extremely high risk, as it's an ultra low cap. But I've been following their community and their dev. It's basically the beta to white whale. And my basic theory is, if this is like the second biggest whale coin in the meme coin market, and white whale can run up to 200 million, go down to 20 million, and then run back up to 160, I think that this will catch a bid later on. I know the chart pattern is disgusting right now, but if this were to turn around, this is a generational low. And I also just want to iterate with you guys how crazy the meme coin world is, in the sense that, and I wish I was there, those who caught the catch ultra bids, literally from here to here, that's a 4x in a crashing market without leverage. Finally, for those that know about this meme coin 6767, or those tapped into culture, I think right now is an ultimate bid on this. The kid who went viral on 6-7 is his actual parents who built this. I like consolidating chart patterns like this versus ones that just like are going down, because this shows me there is some volume in bids. If I am correct on this, I'm going to outperform my Solana position by over 5x. So I see meme coins as more of a Solana multiplier. Yeah, that's it from me. Macro meme coins, on-chain metrics. Hope you guys enjoyed. Halima, are you ready for your health and wealth meditation segment before Chryso gets into futures? Halima, you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Nice to meet you. Can everybody hear me?
Yep.
Yep, can hear you.
I think you're on quiet. I think you turn your speaker.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Welcome. My name is Halima, and today we will journey together through a guided meditation for health and wealth. Find a comfortable seat, close your eyes, and settle into this moment. Let your shoulders drop, relax your jaw, and soften your face. Release any tension about the markets, money, and what you think you should be doing. Right now, you are exactly where you need to be. Thank you for joining me today, and thank you, universe, for aligning this sacred meeting. Let's breathe together. Breathe in for 4 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 4 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4. And breathe out for 6 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 4 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out for 6 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And again, breathe in for 4 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 4 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4. And breathe out for 6 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bring your awareness to your body, this vessel that carries your dreams. Your health is your first wealth. Without it, nothing else matters. Feel your feet rooted to the ground, stable, supported, and strong. Notice your heartbeat, steady, alive, powerful. Your body carries you through every investment, every opportunity, and every victory. When your body is well, your mind becomes clear. When your mind is clear, you make powerful, aligned choices. Breathe in for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And breathe out for 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Picture yourself walking into a lush, vibrant garden, bathed in golden sunlight. The sun is warm on your skin, and the air smells fresh, alive, and abundant. You are admiring how bouncy the ground and the grass feels, and as you look up, stands these huge, magnificent trees. But these are not ordinary trees. Their branches bow under the weight of glowing golden Bitcoin, ripe and ready for harvest. Walk up to the nearest tree and stand tall. Reach up with confidence. Pick a Bitcoin from the branch. Feel its weight in your palm, solid, real, and yours. Look around you. There are more trees everywhere you turn. Ethereum shimmering like emeralds. Stalks blooming like flowers. Abundance in every direction. You planted these seeds with your decisions, your discipline, and your faith. Now you're harvesting the fruit of your wisdom. Remember, you're not just picking for yourself. You're making strategic moves for your future bloodline, your children, their children, and beyond. Every Bitcoin you gather, every wise investment you make, creates a river of wealth that flows far beyond you. This garden grows as you grow. It's yours to tend, yours to cultivate, and yours to pass down. Breathe in for 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. And breathe out for 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Place your hand on your heart. Feel its rhythm, Observe the rhythm. Say these words with deep conviction. I am the best.
I am the best.
I can do it alone.
Pardon?
God is always with me.
God is always with me.
I am a winner.
I am a winner.
Today is my day.
Today is my day.
I am unstoppable.
I am unstoppable.
My body is healthy.
My body is healthy.
My mind is focused.
My mind is focused.
My wealth is growing.
My wealth is growing.
I make strategic moves for my future bloodline.
I make strategic moves for my future bloodline.
Breathe in for 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. And breathe out for 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Repeat after me. All is well.
All is well.
Everything is working out for my highest good.
Everything is working for my highest good.
I trust the perfect timing of my investments.
I
I
chose the
trust
perfect
the
time for my
perfect
investment.
timing of my investments.
I trust my body's infinite wisdom.
I trust my body's infinite wisdom.
I trust divine guidance in every decision I make.
I trust divine
I
guidance
trust
in every
divine guidance in every decision I make.
My choices today secure my family's future.
my choices
My
today
choices
secure my
today
family.
secure my family's future.
Breathe in for 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. And breathe out for 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Feel the power of these words and repeat after me. Money flows to me easily and consistently.
Money flows to
Money
me.
flows to me easily and consistently.
My health supports my wealth, and my wealth supports my health.
My wealth
My wealth
support
supports my
my
health.
health.
My
support
health supports my wealth.
I am divinely protected in all my financial choices.
I am divinely
I'm
protected.
divinely protected in all my financial choices.
Every move I make builds unshakable legacy.
Every move I make
Every move I
builds
make builds
unshakable.
unshakable legacy.
Breathe in for 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. And breathe out for 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, see yourself as whole, complete, and powerful. Your physical health strong, vibrant, unstoppable. Your mental clarity sharp, focused, and brilliant. Your financial abundance flowing, multiplying, and endless. These aren't separate parts of you. They are one unified force of energy moving through your life. When you care for your body, you think with clarity. When you think with clarity, you invest with wisdom. When you invest with wisdom, you build the life you've deserved and the legacy your bloodline will inherit for generations to come. You are the bridge between health and wealth, between past and future, between what is now and what will be. Breathe in for 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. And breathe out for 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. With your hand on your heart, feel the truth of these words and repeat after me. I am healthy.
I am
I am
healthy.
wealthy.
I am
I am
healthy.
wealthy.
I am wise.
I am
I am
wise.
God guides my path with every step.
God guides my path
Guides
for
my
them.
path with every step.
I am the best version of myself today and every day.
I am the best
The
version of
best version of myself today
today.
and every day.
This abundance is mine.
This abundance,
This abundance is mine.
This clarity is mine.
this clarity is
Clarity
mine.
is mine.
This success is mine
This success is mine
because I am a winner.
because I am a winner.
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 I'm a winner.
I am blessed. I am grateful and I am ready.
I am blessed,
I'm blessed. I'm
grateful,
grateful. And I'm
Breathe
ready.
in for 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. And breathe out for 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Gently wiggle your fingers and toes. Roll your shoulders back and feel your strength. When you're ready, slowly open your eyes and notice how you feel. Calm, powerful, aligned, and ready. You are grounded, you are abundant, and you are unstoppable. Welcome back. Let's begin this journey together. Thank you.
you.
Thank you.
Amazing, amazing, amazing.
Amazing, amazing, amazing.
10 out of 10 as usual.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Halima.
Thank you, Halima. That was amazing.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Right, guys. Cryzo, Cryzo, Cryzo. Are you ready to step up? Hello, hello, hello. Spotlights on you. Check, 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 check.
Can you hear me now?
Hello.
Hello?
Yes, yes, yes.
Right, insanely, yeah. I was on a train from Leeds to my end. I just got back home as soon as Halima finished the thing. So, just give me a sec. Right.
Means your timing.
Let me share my screen, Ninja. Oh man, I'm out of breath. Okay. Can you see this? Right, yo. So, right, we've seen what's happened to the charts. We're down. The real question is, short term, will it go down or will it, keep going up? Personally, as a trader, as a futures trader, you want to be careful. Obviously, we're using leverage, so you can get liquidated anytime. This is a liquidation heat map of the 24-hour. So it shows you we've got liquidation on the bottom and at the top as well. So if the price hits these points, then the market makers, people who made the platforms, they'll make a lot of money. So it's very favorable for it to go there. These people will try to do anything they can to get the price there. Obviously, we'll look at this one as well. If you look, there's a lot of liquidations. There's a lot of money down below. So I definitely think there's a big possibility that we will keep going down a bit. If it breaks below 68K and continues to break there, you can expect it maybe going down to 58K. But in our conditions right now, that's not really likely since we have had such a massive downtrend. For Bitcoin to completely ignore this, as a bottom, it would have to invalidate all of this. And however, the reason I think it is possible is because if right now people have saw this and been like, okay, this is 100% the bottom, right? A lot of people have done that. So that's what creates all this leverage, all of this, right? I know it's not as bright, so it means, there's not as much volume here, but accumulated wise, there is still a lot of leverage down to 68K. So I am not against it possibly hitting 68K and maybe even going into a bearish season for up until to Q3. That's my, worst term scenario. I want to just look at the. Oh, you're pissing me off. One sec, guys. I need to log in. Um, okay. All right. Gonna share my screen again. All right. So let's look at it on the higher time frame, 7 days. All right. All right. 7 days is looking nice. Long term, I think we are probably gonna push up. We haven't got nearly as much liquidation down there as we have up here. A lot of people are probably going short. I know there's a bunch of bears. Um, that have gotten a lot more bearish just because it hit lower than the last supposed bottom. So that is a good sign for us. Very good sign for us. Um, what I would do if I was you guys and I was trading with leverage, I would look for scalp longs. I'd look for short-term longs whilst looking for I mean short-term shorts, sorry. Yeah, short-term shorts whilst looking for a really good entry for a long because we're bullish over here. Professor Adam is bullish, one of our main teachers. We have got a few bears that we listen to, just in case. But overall, that's what we're looking for. Um, Over here, 67K, 68, that was a great entry. I do think it's going to touch there again. If these CVD bubbles, which are, big high buy orders, meaning that it's touched a high source of liquidity. If this gets respected and it bounces back down below it, it will probably get to 68K. The highest dip it could go down to 67 2 around this area. I think that's just where, there's quite a lot of liquidation leverage. Um, Other than that, yeah, we're looking quite bullish. I wanted to show you guys this. This is the Fed sheet. Um, oh dear, what the heck? Oh, don't do this. Um, if we zoom in over here, you'll see we are constantly day by day getting more money pumped into Bitcoin and crypto with the Fed. So there's the government who know pretty much everything and have their hand in everything. They finally started dumping in their money in here. So yeah, I think personally we're giga bullish. If you are going to use leverage, for Bitcoin, 2x is pretty good. 3x maybe, so at 70K, it would be roughly about 22K down. So it'll be at 58K. I do think we can get there, you know what I mean, in case, worst case scenario, but I also think that's a pretty good spot. Yeah, if you're gonna go for short term longs, wait for 68K, 67, and then start to look for places from there. Yeah. At the end of the day, yeah, with leverage, be very careful. A lot of us thought we were giga bullish when Bitcoin hit 81K. Now the chart looks kind of bearish, I'll be honest. So we can't expect it to go even lower, just like we did before. But some people, they were too bullish. Just be careful, yeah. Set your stop losses, uh, take profits, good risk to reward, and make sure that your accuracy is in tune with the current market conditions, because some strategies aren't going to work in these conditions. So yeah, that's enough for me, guys. Yeah, to summarize, be careful, leverage, when something's going to happen, RSI, MACD, all your indicators, use these liquidation maps to tell you where the market's going to be looking in terms of direction. 7 days we look bullish. Daily we look bearish. I'm just going to say, right? So yeah, that's it from me, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you again to Ninja and the Mycelink team for having me on every week. And yeah, that's it.
What do you mean, Mycelink team, bro? You are Mycelink team, bro. We're a decentralized ecosystem.
Yeah, true. I think the wording's just stupid. But yeah, that's what I meant. Thanks to the rest of my
All right,
teammates,
let's take some. Yeah. All right, let's take some questions. iPhone asked me, do you think there will be more shorts on XRP and Solana? Before I answer this question, let me be very clear. Crypto moves together. It's not like the stock market, right? So in the stock market, let me actually back my chat with charts. In the stock market, you can have things like, let me just get Microsoft. Microsoft. What is the ticker? MSFT. Okay, so Microsoft had fantastic earnings. Despite them having great earnings, the stock dropped. That's called buy the rumor, sell the news. The market priced in good earnings for Microsoft, and then for whatever reason they released their earnings. They were good earnings, and then the stock dropped. And then on the contrary, I think Tesla during the time shot up. Let me just compare these two charts together, so I'm not chatting was. So I'll put Tesla here and then Microsoft at the top. And then I'm going to answer, do I think there's going to be more shorts on Solana and XRP? Because I think it's not a great question, because what you should be asking yourself is, what is the direction of crypto? Was it this day? I can't remember which stock it was. I can't remember which stock had an inverse relationship with Microsoft. But if you look at crypto all around, Bitcoin, big red candle, Ethereum, even bigger red candle, XRP, even bigger red candle. Now on the flip, you get harder reversals, right? This is why we bet on alts. Like if you bought the XRP dip, the day after you would literally be up 40%. That's crazy. That's insane. Where Bitcoin, if you bought the dip and rode it, you'd be up 18%. So what you need to ask yourself is, do I think there's going to be more shorts in XRP and Solana? It's what is the direction? What is the direction of cryptocurrency that you see? Because typically speaking, all crypto follows each other except certain outliers. And I'm going to repeat what I said on the last webinar. Let's go to Hyperliquid. There's just a few things in the market. If we just go to coinmarketcap.com. Oh my God, I didn't talk about my homie Frank. Anyone into football, he's like a Manchester United football influencer, and his whole thing is, I'm not going to cut my hair till Manchester United win 5 games. He's one of my in real life friends, and he made it onto Polymarket. He made it onto Polymarket, and you can bet on if Manchester United will beat West Ham on Tuesday. I'm not even a football guy. I would bet if it wasn't against my religion, but I just thought that's very interesting how real world events are just becoming binary options. But anyway, I digress. Back onto coinmarketcap.com. You can see in the top 100 cryptos, there's only a few outliers, be it Hyperliquid and like 2 or 3 other things in the top 100 that are going against the downtrend. So, do I think there is going to be more downside on Solana and XRP? Based on technicals, no, I don't think. Is it possible? Yes. But no, I do not think. What I think is to go long. Now, I can be wrong, but based on chart pattern alone, and I'm just going to iterate when I've been wrong in the past, I thought this was an uptrend. I didn't think we were going to go below here. But at the same time, I didn't think there's going to be a black swan event where 7 trillion was taken out of gold and silver. So opinions can change, but no, to summarize, I don't think you should be looking for shorts on Solana and XRP. I think you should generally be looking at longs. But to be asking me individual assets that are highly correlated with the rest of crypto means that you're not looking. It indicates to me that as a trader/investor, you are not looking at the macro trend. You're trying to look for individual outliers which follow the rest of the market. So that's my answer for that. Next question I've got: can you chart SoFi Technologies? Sure. Interestingly enough, this looks exactly like crypto. If I just compare SoFi Technologies to Bitcoin, we can see here that these two charts are highly correlated. Remember, all markets are tied together, and money just flows from one market to the other. It's very, very eerie how SoFi, I have never really looked at this stock before, but its highs almost aligned with Bitcoin, give or take a few weeks. Drawdown similar to Bitcoin, 46% here, and on SoFi, it's 44. Oh my God, very eerily similar. We have pretty much the same tariff dip here, in which SoFi was a beta to Bitcoin. Actually, it did 236%, where Bitcoin only did 60%. Yeah, similar here. Here, I suppose SoFi was consolidating. On a technical basis, this is a buy the dip opportunity. I don't have enough time live to look at fundamentally what this is, but it's going off pure technicals alone. This is the lowest the RSI has been since April 2022. So is it a buy for SoFi based on technicals alone? Yes. And then, as you can see, just as a quick view of the stock, it's had 4 positive quarters. So this looks very good. A financial service platform which engages in the provision of student loan refinancing options to the private student loan market. Will the rich get richer? And a lot of the private student loans would be Chinese people. Yeah. So on a quick bird's eye view, I think SoFi's a buy, and I also see here there is a fair value gap that has been filled. I do not see any other fair value gaps except here. There would have to be an extreme bearish catalyst for this to get filled. So based on a quick analysis, I think SoFi is a great buy. Let me just do a quick MACD as well. Fair. I see a bearish exhaustion. I don't know if this stock will consolidate for a while and then go up. It's not showing me it's going to reverse immediately. However, I do think the bottom's in for SoFi. Let me take any more questions. Questions. Rylan, the bad man.
Yo,
How you
bro.
doing?
I'm not too bad. You?
I'm good, thank you. It's good to see you back. Obviously, I last saw you 2 weeks ago from today, right?
Yeah,
Exactly
yeah.
2
I
weeks
think it
ago.
was actually. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any questions? Anything you want me to have a look at?
Maybe one that I considered in the past. Reddit.
Sure. I will look at Reddit. I'm just going to bring to the public's attention a question which you asked me privately. Should you buy Coinbase? PayPal. Now, back in the day, I would buy PayPal because I was a more value investor. As time has gone on, for public record, I have now switched to a trend following investor, which I believe is a more suitable way to use your capital. I don't think it's a terrible idea to buy PayPal based on value investing alone. So in terms of value, the last time we had this low was in December 2021. However, even though we had this low of the RSI at a screaming buy in this here, it has continued to decline. I have no idea when this stock's going to go up and turn around. Do I have confidence it's going to turn around at some point? Yes. But do you have a multi-year time horizon? Most people don't have that. And even though I thought I had that in the past, I think it is way more suitable to be a trend following investor. So yeah, I think PayPal is extremely undervalued. Obviously, for the first time in a long time, they had negative earnings, which dumped the stock price.
I want to say something.
Could this be a generational one? Yeah, go on.
I personally think PayPal since that time in 2021, it's gained a lot of competitors, Cash App, and we've had Starling, Monzo, Revolut become really easy for you to sign up to, just doing it off your phone within 10 minutes. And PayPal's transferring times have gone up to approximately 20 to 30 days. You know what I mean? So technology wise,
Damn.
PayPal's gone a lot, it's become a lot worse. So I don't know. Personally, I don't like using it. I only use it if I have to, if I very, very much have to. I think unless they do make some advances, then I personally think it's gonna keep going down.
Yeah, I agree with most of what you said. I don't know about continuing to go down. Like, I don't think it can go down any further. However, I don't see any signs of a reversal. So this could spend years in this consolidation. Just like it spent years. Let me just iterate, the PayPal was ranging between 60 and 90 in April 2022, in which it remained till December 2025. I'll go on the record and say I used to be bullish on PayPal stock. I remember in like October 2023, and I was like, yeah, this is the bottom of PayPal and it's gonna go up. Right? This is what I expected to happen. It didn't happen. Whoopsie-daisy. You need to have a price/time invalidation point. And this is showing no signs of strength. I would much prefer to buy something like Coinbase, where at this level, historically, it has bounced up from. I would much prefer something like this. I would rather bet on Coinbase with it having so much correlation to BTC as well. If I just go to Bitcoin. By the way, the great thing about buying stocks versus crypto, and I'm mainly a crypto person, is in the UK you can have a tax-free ISA. So if you can find betas of Bitcoin, like Coinbase is literally a Bitcoin beta. I don't see I don't see this stock not going up. And look how correlated this is to BTC. Obviously, historic price action does not confirm future price action, so we can decouple. But I mean, this is a pretty damn good relationship. Bitcoin, you're gonna make what, 90%, 80%? Coinbase, you'll make 176. So Coinbase is actually better buy than Bitcoin. Reddit, to answer your question directly, just thought I'd bring that to the public. Reddit on the New York Stock Exchange. Oh my God, yes, I see it. I see it. I see it. I do. Oh my God, and come on. Rylan, where did you think about this, man? You have these thoughts that I don't have. Like what made you look at Reddit?
Someone on here, I can't
It's
remember
star player right now.
which person it was that said that sometimes they look at like where the market's going and what's happening in the world to figure out like what next to invest in. And I just kind of look at it, I guess
Yeah.
I look at things that I'm using and seeing if it seems like it's popular and whatnot. And then sometimes it just turns out that it is and it might be a good bet. Most times I'm wrong, but yeah, sometimes.
No, this is looking good, man. Reddit went public in March 2024, so it's only been 1.9 years. Yes, understand the market likes to bet on new narratives. I just had to double check this because sometimes the trading view chart, especially with crypto, less so much with stocks, doesn't represent the entire price history of the stock. But yeah, according to Grok, this is literally the start of Reddit. Damn, this is the lowest the RSI has been ever, even on the 5-day. Holy moly. And on the weekly. Gee, come on, Rylan. That's what I like. Value investing with trends. There's no immediate sign of reversal for this. So it's I would be cautious in terms of over deploying. But we're at a very nice dip. Very, very nice dip. I can't yet see a reversal. So in terms of value investing, yes. In terms of trend following investing, it's not giving me any indicator that it's going to rotate. But I wouldn't be unconfident of Reddit at this price for sure, especially because we've had positive earnings throughout this year. Let me just ask Grok, has it ever had a negative quarter since coming onto the stock market? Oh God, the Matrix attacking me. You guys, please bear in mind the way I look at things and copy from me and get your own strategies. Since Reddit went public in March 2024, have they ever had a negative quarter? If so, which quarters? Give me a table of all the expected versus actual quarter earnings since coming public. Now, this is going to show a lot. Oh my God, Reddit faced no negative quarters since March 2024 IPO. Let's have a look. Yeah, I like this. Come on, bro. See, guys, you don't have to be a veteran. You can be a beginner. Rylan's been with me for a few months now, learning, progressing. This is fantastic. Let's have a look. Unice asked me to have a look at render. I will have a look at render whilst Grok is doing its thing. Oh my God, why is the Matrix doing this to me? Okay, so I'm gonna now have a look at. I'm gonna have a look at render. Before I look at the render chart, I almost guarantee that it's in the dumps. I haven't looked at this chart for a very long time. Last time I looked at render technology, it looks good, it looks promising. But remember, crypto is all tied together. So I haven't looked at this chart for ages, and I'm going to assume that it looks like crap. Now, that doesn't mean that it's not going to go up later. But remember, there's a time value of money, right? I used to be a Mr. Buy the dip guy, but now I want to see some kind of chart reversal. I want a chart bigger than that. You have to experiment with crypto and try different charts, and you want to just go for the one that has the most data. Render crypto. No, Coinbase. BitMEX. Ugh. Give me a good render chart. Render. I swear that's the ticker. Or is it RENDR? Oh, it is R. Okay, my bad. RENDR. There we go. We'll look at the Coinbase one. Coinbase one typically good. Okay. We are in the absolute dumpster. Okay, so if you believe in render, and not necessarily render, but you have extreme high conviction in terms of value investing, just based on technical analysis alone, when you get a wick like this, when you get any super wick like this, and I'm gonna just show it with Pengu, right? When you get a super wick like this, it's telling you, Pengu told you on the 10th of October, I have a good chance of retesting on the 10th of October. I have a good chance of retesting this level. And where have we gone to? This level here. Because I'm extremely bullish on Pengu in terms of value investing. I am confident in buying this dip. I do not know much about what's going on with render. However, I can tell you that I believe that it has further downside to go to 60 to at least, or not at least, closer to 64 cents. It is giving me zero signs of reversal at this moment in time. And this is a similar chart to most altcoins. So I wouldn't buy render at today's price. I would wait for it to go lower. Though if you own render already, I would not sell your existing render to buy back lower, as of course sentiment can change, and then crypto can catch a bid, and it can do this, right? It can do this, but there is nothing telling me it will do this. I'm not saying it won't do that, but there is no signs. So I wouldn't buy render at today's price. Check ASTS, AST Space Mobile. Check what XR Point did when it filled its weekly wick also. ASTS. Okay, what is ASTS? Space Mobile. ASTS. Let's have a look. ASTS. Okay, this is a fantastic uptrend. Despite having negative earnings. Engages in building broadband cellular network in space to operate directly with standard unmodified mobile devices based on extensive intellectual property, I'm assuming, or internet provider, and patent portfolio. It focuses on providing mobile broadband services with global coverage. This looks like chart side, trades by side. You want to go with the trend, right? So, basic trend. Since the tariff, because this stock basically consolidates, I don't know why, but it consolidated for a long time. And then this was the Trump tariff crash. Yeah, always remember Q1 25. Try to remember at least a quarter and the year that important things happened, and then you'll start building like the instinct of being a great investor and trader. So we broke out, we set a higher high, capitulated a bit. This changed everything. Set another higher high, another higher low. We set consistent higher highs and higher lows. On a technical basis, this looks great. Don't know anything about it, but it looks great. Just on a basic chart pattern. This is a nice reversal candle. Indicators are gonna be honest. This could be the sign of a reversal on the pure basis that this looks like the start of a potential downtrend to me. Also, the RSI has flipped bearish over here. However, that can be subject to false signals. I'm honestly not too sure about this stock. My MACD is telling me that it's going to go down. So yeah, overall good long-term trend, but I'm short-term bearish on this stock based on these lower highs and what my MACD and RSI is signaling. Of course, they can be subject to false positives, but also matched with the fact that they've had 3 negatives quarters. I wouldn't personally be buying this stock at this level. Of course, me not buying this stock at this level doesn't mean that the stock can't go up. It can, right? But I am not gonna bet on things that I don't understand. That's my opinion on ASTS. Okay, next question. Check what XRP did when it filled its weekly wick also. Okay, let's have a look. I really don't like trading XRP because it doesn't follow predictable trend following patterns in my experience. Check what XRP did when it filled its weekly wick. Okay, let's go to the weekly. If you mean by this weekly wick, then it reversed with the rest of crypto, so I don't see that as any particular special outlier. This is the biggest liquidation event of all time in crypto, so this looks like a normal wick. I can't see anything special about XRP price action on the weekly wick. However, feel free to enlighten me. I'll wait for iPhone to reply. Donny Storm, anything you want me to have a look at? Francis, anything you want me to have a look at? And I'm definitely wrap up in 10 minutes max.
No, I'm all good, bro.
Okay.
I'm got any questions.
You know what? You don't have any questions, but could you be so kind to just quickly share with everyone your crypto experience? Because I respect the fact of what you've been through and the fact that you're still here, and it shows a strong mentality.
Right. So I've put some money in like a few times in it, and I've seen it go up, but like every time it's just got liquidated in it. So I'm still you know what I mean? I'm ready to actually like make some proper moves in it, and obviously you got to fail many times before you succeed. So just still learning as much as I can, and yeah, ready to fucking get it. You know what I mean?
100%. So just to iterate, I remember when you first got into crypto when you bought Solana, and then what did you do with that Solana, Donny? Instead of holding on to at least some of it, what did you do with all your Solana?
Took the money out. It was going up a bit in it, but I took it out when it was like not when it wasn't too much, and I should have held.
Wait, didn't you like risk a lot of it in meme coins?
Oh yeah, I know for that.
So,
we're trying to day trade, isn't it?
The lesson from that is, yeah. So the lesson from that is, I'm not telling people not to day trade, right? I day trade, I lose money. It's a skill set for life. But would you say that upon reflection, you should have kept some of the Solana?
Absolutely. Oh, 1,000,000%.
And what's your biggest lesson in recent times? Because I know you've been leverage trading.
Yeah, I saw it go up in it, like I nearly like 2x my money, but I wasn't too clued up on futures and that in it, so I just obviously everything went down like last week or something. Then it just went down to zero in it, like it went 2x, and then a few days later 0, and now I've got nothing. But I'm gonna go back into the game soon.
So you watch your money double and then go to 0. At least
Yeah.
you watched it double and you know it's real.
Yeah, for real.
Yep.
This is
Yeah,
just
my bad.
this is a good time to get into it, though, isn't it? 'Cause obviously, market's fucking crashed, hasn't it? That's the time where you need to get into it. Like that's the time where there's money to be made.
100%.
discount.
I would just say make sure. Yeah, go on.
I just said we're on discount.
Yeah, we're definitely on discount. Like you really have to, and I can't answer this for you. You know, those watching live and on the replay, you really have to self-analyze yourself and then ask yourself, you know, what's my risk tolerance? What's my net worth? What's my capability? And how am I going to divide between spot, leverage, majors, meme coins? You know, I'm a big Ethereum guy. Ethereum has been my biggest hold for a while, and then I switched over to Solana. There should have been times where I was more weighted in Bitcoin. But you know, we all make mistakes. There's times where I've been over leveraged, and there's times I've been under leveraged, right? There's been times where like it made sense to long the market and I didn't do it. So just know there's a basket of unlimited opportunities in this market, but I'm always big on people owning things on spot because at the end of the day, it's really hard to trade your way to freedom, but it's much easier to invest your way into freedom and then use trading as a vehicle to maximize investments. Francis, my new favorite person in the entire world, who I've known for like 7 to 9 days.
Yes, no.
Any questions, my friend?
Nothing to add, bro. Nothing to add. Feeling good, you know.
Are you still of the belief system that we're going to go down to 20K? Obviously, all independent thoughts welcome.
I believe it's possible.
Yeah. Sorry, I think you're on mute, Francis. Obviously, you're new to the game, been in for like a month. What are you thinking as someone new to the game right now?
Facts, yeah.
Francis, I think he's got technical problems. I don't know.
I think
All
we've
right,
still
guys.
got 49 Bitcoin in sight, man.
Is that what you think, yeah?
Yeah, $49,000 for Bitcoin.
I don't know.
But that's the
What
last
you
of it.
think? You think we're gonna wick there and that's the
Yeah.
last of it. What makes you think we're gonna go to 49,000? Like, what is your actual reasoning?
It's just
for
the
that
basis
number?
of that consolidation.
So you're thinking, like, you're literally basing it off this wick, right?
Yeah, my mistake.
Does
it
the
booted me
theory
off.
come from this wick? Sorry, say that again, Francis.
It booted me off. I'm back on.
Oh, yeah. So did you want to say something?
No, nothing to add, bro.
Okay. So, Mateus, is your whole 49K theory based on this wick?
Yeah, essentially.
Okay. It's not impossible, but guys, this is why we encourage everyone to do your own research, because even within Mycelink, we have differences of opinion. Alien did publicly say, I think that we're going to draw down, and I publicly said, no, I thought this was the bottom, and I was wrong. However, whoopsie-daisy, I have now changed my opinion, and I believe this is the bottom. And hopefully I've presented enough information and data for you guys to consider it being the case. Keyword being considering, because anything can happen. The key to this market is to always be prepared and never let your individual opinion or bias overweight and blind you from being all in, because sunk cost fallacy in this market can cost you a lot more than other forms of other parts of your life, right? Like some people here thought it was a good idea to 100x leverage long Bitcoin. Some people in the world, if we just go to gold and silver, I'm gonna wrap up here. Go silver, right? Some people caught the silver bug literally 18 days ago. Less than 3 weeks ago, families around the world were buying silver, and now they're down. And guess what? There is a possibility that silver is going to go all the way down to 55 and not go up here for years. 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 History repeats.
There's more flowers.
I'm going to mute whoever's microphone that is. Okay, yes. Let me just remind you guys that so if you bought silver in 2011, you held on, you would not see profits for 14 years. So I don't know why.
That's the whole teenager.
Yes, whole teenager. This is a bearish chart pattern on silver. This is trillions of dollars being taken out. These are lower highs. I wouldn't buy any silver at today's price. Or gold at today's price. I would wait. Yeah, so let's leave it there. Anything can happen. My consensus is the bottom is in. I've presented you guys multiple data sets outside of technical analysis, mainly on-chain, including qualitative. Even technicals are saying we're at the bottom, though all of those things can be wrong. So position yourselves accordingly. I am long. I do believe we can test 65 again, but I don't think we're going to go lower than 60.8. My opinion is subject to being wrong, of course. Let me see the last question. I'll take one more question. What about platinum? I'm gonna answer this one question and then get off. Platinum is basically in line with Bitcoin. With silver and gold. As you can see, this platinum chart looks pretty much exactly like the silver chart. Pretty much exactly like the silver chart. By the way, the people that make the most money in the market long term are those who stick with their plan and do not over deviate. I was really tempted to start trading gold, and then I realized that this is not my world. As you can see, this chart looks pretty much exactly like the silver chart. We top out around the same time. We draw down around the same time. Dead cat bounce around the same time. Draw down around the same time. Slight recovery at the same time. Platinum, gold, and silver all tied together, much like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. Right, guys, that was an amazing 2-hour session. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys next Sunday. Thank you.
Peace.
Take care.